Hello and welcome, race fans, once again to some Wednesday night racing action here with the Vigilante Racing League, coming at you live from Kansas Motor Speedway, a beautiful 1.5-mile track where we get to see these Xfinity cars just grip it and rip it and let it on out here, and we get to watch a very fun and enjoyable show here as we get this party started. But first, let's get things started with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, these great Vigilante Racing League races are brought to you by D&D Race Grafix, and that's Grafix spelled Grafix. Be sure to look them up on Facebook and on Trading Paints. Mr. Ricky Wittenberg here does some fantastic out of this world paint schemes that really pop out and catches the eye. So if you want something that you can get comments on and people really enjoy when you're racing in those official races, be sure to hit him up over there, as well as his real life business of Keller Williams with Johnson City, Tennessee. You can reach out to Ricky at 423-444-0454 if you're looking to buy or sell your house. Whether you're in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country, Ricky has contacts all over the place, and he can either help you out personally or get you in touch with a realtor that will be best suited for your needs in the area that you're looking for. And man, oh man, housing market, man, that is something you don't want to play with all on your own. Get yourself a good quality realtor today. As always, I'm Alan Brown, and I am joined in the booth by Mr. Alan English. Alan, we're in store for some 1.5-mile racing after quite a few weeks moving away from it.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him return back to the 1.5 miles. This is a fun track to watch. It does have some banking in it, but you're still going to be tearing up some tires out there today. Kansas is a great 1.5-mile racetrack. We don't see it very often in a lot of the leagues that we cover, and that's kind of a shame because it does produce some pretty good side-by-side racing. I don't know about too many grooves like what we see at like a Michigan. I think mostly it's basically one defined groove around here, but we'll see some guys playing around with it, maybe trying to do some stuff on the outside. Time will only tell. Looking forward to seeing what they can do with it.
Yes, sir, indeed. As down there on pit road is Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, I know we had a little bit of a smaller field last week at the Daytona Road Course, but man, we got a pretty good sized field here tonight.
Oh yeah, this is way better. I think they're gonna like this track. It's kind of a driver's track, really. I I kind of think it's like a flatter Texas or Charlotte, seems like to me, but maybe I'm wrong. A little more narrow, too, maybe. That front stretch there is we're gonna see some fun out there. So one fast repair, 13 incident points, you're done. 13x, you're done. 70% fuel, 4 tires. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yes, sir, that it is, as we look at this beautiful 1.5-mile track out in the middle of nowhere in Kansas. And man, these guys are going to be in store for a nice, comfortable ride. Not too bumpy out there. Track is pretty well paved as we take a look at that weather as well. Not too hot either, as everything weather-wise looks a-okay. Bringing us down to that key to the race, and man, it's going to be a super big key. It's going to be the tire wear. It's how well are you going to manage those tires, because we know these Xfinity cars, when those things get worn down quite a bit, they get kind of dicey.
Yeah, and looking at the shape of the track there on that diagram, you could tell that coming out of 2 onto the backstretch and then sending it back down into 3, that's probably where most of your tire wear is going to come from. But as far as the exit off of 4, then go through the trial, and the entry into 1 is a lot bigger, sweeping, larger radius turn. So I mean, you're not going to be putting as much wheel in it as you would in turns 2 and in turn 3. So getting power down coming out of 2 is going to be tricky for some of these guys.
Yeah, and 4 too, I think. Sorry, I had some dog issues over here. Real life gets in the way of this.
Same here, man.
Fabulous simulation of racing we got going on. But I think out of 4, we're going to see some issues too. And tires. I don't think that we can say that enough here tonight.
No, not at all. As these drivers make their way on out to qualifying, we got Earl Evans joining us on the face cams, as well as let's see if I can't do this fairly quickly, as well as Greg Dobson. He's joining us out here with the face cam as well. Got some new faces out there, like Andrew Coffin. Is that how you say that name? I hope so. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to talk to him here later on. We got the man Chandler Paul out there with the race cam going on, as well as Jonathan Osborne. There's Jonathan. I couldn't find his name there for a second, but Jonathan Osborne out there as well, joining us with that face cam action here as these drivers try to put down some very quick laps.
Yeah, the face cam's the way to go, man. You get to see everybody's little setup and what's going on out there. As you know, Jonathan has that unique setup. So awesome, such an awesome story. But that's what it's all about. It's all about, having fun, having a better setup than anybody else, and having more fans than anybody else, right? And winning the thing.
Speaking of, the fans are already starting to trickle into the YouTube chat space there. Albert Anderson said, "Team Albert in the house," and it brought along Edith and Kathy with them, and they're ready and waiting for this race to start. And Rebecca Smith joining us also. Thank you so much, Rebecca. She was with us last night during the HCK Beagles race. So good to see you back, Rebecca.
Yeah, didn't her driver win last night over there?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he had a heck of a night over there in that 3 machine.
Man, well, I'm glad she's here. So, yeah, I think we've seen, Brad, you mentioned the 210 of Andrew Coffin. We've seen him before. I don't think he's taken a few weeks off, maybe. Don't know. Last week we had such a different field because of the road course. Yeah. No road course tonight, guys. Left turns only.
That is indeed, as the 221 David Fight trying to complete some qualifying here and jump up that leaderboard, currently being held by that 728 of Timothy Pope, who is always very strong at these kind of 1.5-mile tracks. David coming in here with a 16th position lap time there. Let's see if he can't improve here on his final one. couple people not taken out there to the qualifying. Russ Endicott, Jack Dixon, and Jess Vaught. Those guys, I think they're maybe planning on starting from the pits. Oh, as the 221 makes a dive coming down into pit road here, and I think that's going to complete his qualifying effort, as qualifying does finish on up here. So our field is set, and we're going to get all racked up and loaded.
Well, after we do the driver starting grid, I'm going to have to restart my Discord. I'm having some audio issues, but I'll be ready whenever we get that far.
It's always something with you.
I'm telling you.
All right.
Well,
Cursed.
I might be.
Well, either way, here is your starting grid for tonight here at Kansas. Timothy Pope is going to get that pole position with the 81, Jonathan Osborne, right there, right next to him on the outside. You got Ricky Wittenberg up there as well, starting here in third place. The 244 of Jason Ayerson is going to qualify here in fourth. Got the 51 of Mike Adamson, the silent assassin. He's going to start in fifth, with the 292 of Greg Klein starting in sixth. In seventh, we have the 753 of Jeremiah Burke, with the 205 of Jim Ott starting here in eighth. In ninth, we're going to have the 72 of Chan the Man, Chandler Paul, with the 76 of Jeff Ottinger rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
The 01 of Kelly Kill will be starting in 11th. 12th will be Greg Dobson in the 285, our neighbor to the north. The 29 of Dave the Mouth Mayberry starting in 13th. 14th right next to him, the 222 of Poke Salad Tony Polk. Albert Anderson and David Fight are going to make up row number 8. Row 9 is going to be the 210 of Andrew Cawthon and the 13 of Earl Evans. Row number 10, and rounded out your top 20, is going to be Russ Kilgore and Deion Jones. 21st is going to be Jack Dixon in the 48 machine. And what do we got? 57 of Russ Endicott and 33 of Jess Vaught, who did not, neither of them last three guys qualified. You guys were right on that. And that'll round out our field.
Yeah, I think Jess looked like he's having some connection issues. He dropped, and I think he's back in, so that's good.
Ooh, and that is something that he does not want, especially since he is the current points leader. So speaking of, we can actually go ahead and look at the current championship standings. Jess Vaught holds a lead over Jim Ott right now, but it is getting very, very close. So we could possibly see another rookie win the season championship here as we move on along to see what the kind of team standings are. Well, they're not showing up right. But Team Limitless, they're starting to kind of really just drive away with this one. I think all their drivers have been consistently getting really good finishes here this season. So be on the lookout for them. But yeah, Jess Vaught, man, he has not won this thing quite yet, but we're also coming on down to it. We're only going to have 3 more weeks after this one.
Well, quickly, I don't even see him in the race itself at the moment out on the track, so that's not good. Says he's connected. We'll see what happens. You know, the technical wizardry of iRacing sometimes gets you pace cars down.
That it is, as here comes Tim Pope and Jonathan Osborne into that Geico restart zone, taken to the green flag for the first time here tonight. Side by side they go as they head on down across the line and running towards turns 1 and 2. Still side by side is Pope and Osborne. As you can see, everybody behind them as they're still 2 by 2. We expect these guys to be able to maybe hang on to that 2 by 2. Oh, as the 753 gets loose and gets into some traffic here. Oh, and that's going to cause a big pileup.
That's cold tires, right?
13 caught some of that too. Hey, one car was going so fast he didn't have anywhere to go. It looked like he went right into the back of Jim Ott in the 205.
I have to watch that one again. I was in the back of the field there.
That we do, as this was coming out of turns 1 and 2. Jeremiah Burke just straight up into the wall and just couldn't get it back collected. It just kept squirming around on him there. 285. Oh no, the 13 as well getting tagged up in that as well. Man, oh man, just Yeah, carnage.
Greg Klein,
Carnage everywhere.
Greg Klein got hooked up into that a little bit too.
Did he? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. He had a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Yeah.
Oh, no, he got tagged by the 753 just a little bit.
Yeah, he did indeed. He was able to keep it straight for the most part, though, but that wall scrape does do a little bit of damage. But a very uncharacteristic incident there from our good friend Jeremiah Burke.
He had something happen to him, last week or the week before? He had similar bad luck and just like you say, uncharacteristic of his driving.
Well,
how many fast repairs we got? One?
One fast repair tonight.
Oh, man, he's going to use it early.
Yeah, he is, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, and you can see that 13 machine of Earl Evans, man. He's missing some pieces in that bad luck green machine. And
bad luck.
It actually says bad luck this go around. I think
follows him around.
That might be the cause. As we had quite a few people come on down into pit road, but man, talk about getting lucky with a caution here. Is that 33 of Jess Vaught? He's going to be able to get back onto the lead lap here and start with the rest of the field kind of mid-pack.
Oh, it worked out for him. Good to see him out here. We were having a hard time finding him. Looks like he's back. Computer's back working. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in that Vigilante Force 33 Camaro for sure.
Well,
Chandler put a really cool paint, like old Bobby Allison throwback Coca-Cola paint. I love those.
Indeed. And while we do have a minute here under caution, we can talk about some housekeeping clerical errors here. There was a miscommunication about the fan of the race and whatnot. So what they're going to be doing here this season, all the names are going to be all piled up and you're going to be entered to win a $50 or just instant winnings here at the end of the season that we will be doing rather than a per race winner here. So be sure to keep those chat comments coming in because we appreciate y'all and look forward to each and every one of these race nights with y'all.
Hey,
yeah, there's some errors on the part of the broadcast team. I won't say who. Rhymes with English.
Hey, Turner.
Yo.
I just had a great idea. Well, we should make our resident New England guy an honorary Southerner. I mean, he's saying y'all more often. Yesterday he was talking about cars being tore up. I'm like, holy smokes, we're transitioning.
He's learning. He just needs to move down. Come on down. Come south. It's a little bit warmer down here.
And I'll stick with my 1 week of good weather per season, and that be it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some perks to being up there. There's beautiful country. I'm not gonna say it isn't. So, but he is honorary member.
Looks like the 285 of Greg Dobson and Jim Ott in the 205 coming back down into the pit lane here. Don't know what they're doing. Maybe topping up on just some extra fuel, kind of last minute savings here, as Timothy Pope and Jonathan Osborne are going to get stacked back up here at the front.
You don't suppose they're coming down getting minor damage fixed and saving that fast repair for later, do you? I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea here if you only got one.
It is totally possible. As you can see, that 55, very bright and colorful machine of Ricky Wittenberg. Man, I love his paints because you can pick them out in a crowd pretty easily. As he's going to start here in third with Jason Ayerson in that 244 machine. We've seen some great races here lately from that 244. I think it's just really a matter of time before we see him end up on a podium.
100%. Just a matter of time. Got a pretty tough couple of rows of drivers behind him, too. Well, the next 3 rows of drivers look like they're about ready to run him down. His pace car's off.
That it is, as we enter that Geico restart zone for the second time here tonight. And away we go. Green flag racing once again from Kansas Motor Speedway. nose to tail, side by side racing. Man, look at those machines run and gun. The 244 is going to block that middle line. Get a big run here on that 55 machine as a head off down through turns 1 and 2, and now down on that back straightaway. Looks like everybody doing a little bit better job coming out of 2, staying out of that outside wall.
Vigilante Force teammates, the 29 and the 33, kind of hooking up here. They're going to run the bottom line. Oh, the 33 not waiting. He's going to take Mayberry's position there on the apron.
Yeah. Oh, Mayberry getting passed on the outside as well. He had the 2 of Albert Anderson flying around him. He's got to be careful here. He's also got the 7 of Russ Kilgore sneaking around. So, man, everybody wanting to get around Mayberry here as this field continues to lap around. And Timothy Pope able to get out in front of Osborne here a little clear. Same thing with Jason Harrison. So kind of single file running up here towards the front. But then we got Greg Klein and Chandler Paul. They're side by side as they come back across the line. Same thing with Jess Vaught and Klein. Those two are kind of quasi teammates right now. Maybe trying to work together. Greg, we know, great at saving those tires, especially here at these 1.5 miles. I think he's willing to just let some of these people by and maybe get a pass here later on. The 01 to Kelly Keel coming at it with some pace as well, making the move down low.
Yeah, it crossed my mind that Dave Mayberry might be doing that.
Oh, no, here we go. 72 and the 01 up into the wall. That's going to bring out that yellow flag. Oh, no, and people keep climbing up into him.
Man, Russ Endicott on his side. Now he's on his roof.
Oh, man.
That was the 210 of Andrew Coughlin, just not able to get through it cleanly here. As let's go ahead and take a quick replay of that one, as that involved the 72 and the 01 of Kelly Keel. Looks like the 72 just got up into the wall and it just slings you right back across the track. Both drivers going for a wild ride across the line. Oh no, the 50. Who was that? That was the 57 Russ Endicott. Oh, he went for a ride. The 13 of Earl Evans just nowhere to go. The 222 of Tony Polk, he was able to, I think, just dive down into the grass. He didn't really get any damage. He just lost a lot of spots. As oh man, I think Chandler Paul, he's spraying for mosquitoes down there.
Yeah, that Coke machine, and it's not too pretty right now, is it, English?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, that definitely looks like the mosquito sprayer. I need that around here after all this rain.
Woo!
Yeah, come by.
Boy, oh man, you can see there the 57 kind of trying to do one of those, Herbie moves and try to ride along the wall. But man, Greg Dobson really, he had a good view of everything. The problem is that good view was blocked by a whole bunch of smoke. And that's something we don't talk enough about here in iRacing, is when an incident does happen, it's pretty realistic on how little you can actually see with all that tire smoke.
And they just redid that here a year or two ago and made it more realistic. And iRacing did a heck of a job on that. It's nerve-wracking as a driver. You coming up and all you can see is smoke and occasionally a spinning car. So, man.
They upgraded the little models and all the stuff they do in the computer wizardry. But the smoke thing was really cool because it adds another element of immersion. It looks cool, and it is actually simulates the real thing.
That it does, as this field goes around this track behind the pace car here again. And, this is something we haven't actually seen in quite a while, is a couple cautions. These guys, man, for probably, a month and a half, I don't think we've seen a yellow flag come out.
Yeah, they've been pretty clean. I think this track kind of just got to them. This one here is it's a fun track, but there's not much banking. You're gonna lose a little bit of control as you lose tires. So cold tires too kill you here. We saw that already.
As our good friend Jack the Ripper Dixon from up there in Canada, I think he's working on his race car here tonight. As tuning in, saying pacing. That is currently what it is, but I got a feeling they're going to have a long green flag run here coming up soon as they kind of keep going around behind this pace car here, giving us time to highlight some people that we don't necessarily always talk about, like the 4 of Dion Jones. Man, is Kilgore related to Cale Turboville there? Because he just went down there to take out that blue cone like we see Cale do.
Well, he might share the same frustration with that blue cone.
Everybody hates these cones.
Albert Anderson's pop on there saying, looks like a roller derby out there right now. A lot of contact happening.
Yeah, it kind of does. Guess nobody got my reference. Remember, like on the Jerk when he hated the cans? He hates these cones. No, it fell flat, huh? You didn't watch the Jerk? Oh my God.
Yeah, maybe 30 years ago.
That doesn't matter. You're old enough to know. Oh well, somebody out there understands what I'm talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Dobson back down. I don't know. He's probably been in the pits more than he's been on the track.
Damage fixer, like you said, Brown, cramming as much fuel down in that tank as he can get. Just in case we do get a long green flag stint.
That indeed, as this field stacks up behind that pace car here once again. Jonathan Osborne and Timothy Pope side by side, Jason Harrison and Ricky Wittenberg side by side, Mike Adamson, Jess Vaught side by side, Albert Anderson and Greg Klein as well, all up here inside this top 10 for this restart as we come on down through turns 3 and 4 with the lights on that pace car turned off, getting ready to go back to green flag racing.
Yeah, see, I can't wait to the start of this thing.
Man, oh man, you are not kidding. As here comes that pace car down pit road. And here they go into that Geico restart zone once again. You can see a little checkup head on through that field there. I don't think a lot of people were ready to get going as others were. So they're going to still be side by side heading off down into turns 1 and 2. Looks like Timothy Pope getting clean and clear of Jonathan Osborne here. That's going to allow that 244 of Jason Harrison to try to sneak his way on up as well as the battle going on behind him between the 51 and the 55. Ricky Wittenberg and Mike Adamson. Looks like Adamson's going to just kind of tuck into line here behind Ricky as Jonathan Osborne looks down low, maybe trying to get a run and a pass on Timothy Pope here for the lead. Just not quite there yet as people start to kind of figure out their positions and single file out a little bit. You got Russ Kilgore side by side with Albert Anderson here as they head off down into turns 1 and 2 as well. Let's see, you got Hot Rod Mayberry back there. He's battling it out with the 48 machine of Jack the Ripper Dixon and the 292 of Greg Klein as we got still some side-by-side racing action going on. Same thing with up at the front. We got Jason Harrison looking down low on Jonathan Osborne right now as well.
Look, Ricky Wittenberg, he must have got his stuff together. He got new pedals or something like that. He's looking good. Awesome paint job. TrackDogsRacing.com, Cult to Chaos machine. Very colorful car.
Looks like a tie-dye shirt running around out there, don't it?
Yeah, you know when Ricky painted something. It'll stand out.
That is for sure. As here comes the 51 of Adamson and the 33 of Vaught trying to do a 2-for-1 special here as they both get around Ricky through turns 3 and 4 and down and across the line. Tim Pope, he is making use of that super high line. He's dang near put that thing right against the wall and used it as like a monorail to send that car around these turns.
Man.
This is
good racing right here. Now finally we're straightening the thing out.
3 wide.
Oh man, you got Jack the Ripper Dixon, Russ Kilgore, and got Burke there as well. Oh man, tight racing. Looks like Burke just getting the run on all of them, able to keep it down low just enough and even make use of a little bit of using that apron down that front straightaway to pick up some spots here. He still has to deal with that 7 of Russ Kilgore though, as he's still looking down and inside. He's also trying to maybe talk to his teammate, the 2 of Albert Anderson here, saying, man, I know I messed up earlier, but let me go. I got a lot of fight left in me, as he's continuing to fight his way back up through this field.
Well, it looks like the high line is going to be the preferred line if you're wanting to save tires, and the low line is if you're wanting to just try to move up front. Looks like Burke, 753, is trying to gain a little bit on Anderson. Just hadn't got in front of him yet.
Yeah, that high line is definitely getting a big-time run coming out of these corners, and I think that's going to be the great equalizer here, especially when the tires start to fall off. Expect a lot of people maybe trying to make a pass on that high line rather than looking down low.
Adam Strong.
I was about to say, what are the fans saying out there, English? You're ahead of me.
Adam Strom over there on YouTube saying, howdy, fellas. He said, hey, Turner, I'm walking down there with a 36-pack of Natty Ice. He said he's got this guy named Jimmy driving up from Tulsa to hang out for a few days, so he's going to need some cold beers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's Albert.
First of all,
Albert Anderson. Oh, no, and Burke gets into Ricky Wittenberg as well. I was just saying that Albert Anderson scrapes the outside wall just a little bit, but Jeremiah Burke scoots on up into Ricky Wittenberg just a smidge. Both drivers able to keep that thing going straight as this battle up towards the front continues to move on and along. Burke now looking to the inside of Osborne here with a big-time run. Man, Burke, he's not scared of maybe using up the tires here early on this first run as they continue to try to make up some ground.
Using up tires or using up quarter panels?
You have 4 sets and you got 4 quarter pounds, and what's the difference? Do what you got to do out there. And Strom, don't trust anybody from Tulsa, all right? Just remember that. He's going to steal all your Natty Ice, so we'll have a couple down here.
Kelly Keel is trying to follow that 55 Ricky Wittenberger on around that 81 of Jonathan Osborne here. And now Keel's looking down low on Ricky in that 55 machine as well. So Kelly Keel looking very strong here up inside this top 10, trying to make up a few extra grounds and maybe make up some points here for that Vigilante Force team.
Yeah, they're moving and shaking. Oh, somebody's into the wall up front here, dropping back quite a bit.
Oh, Jason Arison, he was side by side with Mike Adamson. He's going to lose that position and more as here comes the 33 of Jess Vaught looking up to the inside of the 51. And he's going to steal that spot away, but the 753 Jeremiah Burke, he's coming up quick on these guys as here comes Addison right back to him. Little bit of a crossover move on the exit of turns 3 and 4, breaking on down to that apron line. He's going to just sneak out in front of that nose of the 33 machine.
Thank you, Carl Anderson, for joining us, pulling for Albert out there for sure. Edith Anderson with a great question. She says, how many sets of tires do they use per race? Well, this race, they're only allowed to have 4 sets, and that's including the set of tires that you start on. So I guarantee you we're going to see these guys run through every bit of these tires, all 3 remaining sets during this race today, because this track just shreds them up.
Man, you are not kidding. As we're already a quarter of the way through this thing, man, we knew once when this thing went green flag racing the entire way, or for a good chunk of it, we're going to be putting laps down here very, very quickly. And we're right along here with the 55 Ricky Wittenberg. Kind of slid back into 8th here, but he's still kind of battling it out. And you can kind of hear him modulating that throttle. So these cars really want to get that back end to step on out, especially in turns 3 and 4.
Man, Kansas, it's all right? Cool track. I think there's a casino close by. I may be missing for a little bit of this race. Kansas Casino. I know I can win there.
Nose to tail racing going on up at the front, kind of single filed out. But we got Hot Rod Mayberry. He's trying to get a pass done here on that 292 of Greg Klein, who I think is still dealing with maybe a little bit of damage from that first caution that we saw, as he's been moving backwards and backwards. We'll have to see if he uses a fast repair here coming up later on. But in front of him, you got, who is that? We saw some 2 wide racing action going on in front of him here. You got Andrew Cawthon and Jonathan Osborne. They were side by side here for just a little bit. You also got Greg Dobson trying to catch on up to Dion Jones in that 4 machine, as these guys really trying to battle this one out. Jack the Ripper Dixon up 12 spots on the day right now. He's got Jim Ott right there by his side, up underneath him here. Jim Ott, rookie this season, but man, he has given Jess Vaught a challenge for the money in the championship standings.
Yeah, I just looked at a little close-up of Greg Klein's car, a 292 Sugar Llamas machine. He has got pretty heavy damage on the front and on the front quarter panels as well. Hood's sprinkled up, so he's got some major aero issues.
He hadn't used the fast repair. I don't think he just needs to come down. I know his mindset. I bet he's playing the long game. He's gonna wait till he pits. It's not running too terribly bad out there. He'll get that thing fixed, and we hadn't seen the end of him.
That's the 7 of Russ Kilgore, already up 15 spots on the day, trying to overtake that 753 of Jeremiah Burke, who definitely used a lot of rubber here early. Oh, it's Jess Vaught. He's going to go all the way down to the far inside line on that apron and try to maybe get away from that draft run that the 7 had. As Russ Kilgore, man, he is looking very racy here tonight as Timothy Pope has opened up almost a 1.5-second lead over Mike Adamson here.
Good to see Mike Adamson running so well tonight.
Yeah, Pope's back. Hey, that's no surprise.
As we got
Just out there beating the competition.
We got back here a battle for 20th. Polk Salad Tony in that 222 and the 72 of the Man Chandler Paul. They've been going back and forth, as well as we got Greg Dobson and Deion Jones still side by side having a good battle going on right around them as well.
Well, Burke's hanging in there in 5th right there. I just can't believe it. Timothy Pope has taken quite a run so far.
As the 2 of Albert Anderson, he's got that 210 of Andrew Cawthon looking down low on him here. Both drivers fighting for a top 10 spot coming up in front of them, one of which is also Jack the Ripper Dixon up there in
the wall
11th.
Again. Sorry, buddy. Burke went up, smacked that outside wall again. That
Oh no, as Albert Anderson gets all knotted up. He's going to go for a wild ride with an engine blown up here. Let's go back and see what happens with Albert Anderson and Andrew Cawthon as they were heading through turns 1 and 2. Oh, Andrew just gets up into that outside wall. Albert did his best to try to avoid contact there, but he goes hard into that inside wall. Andrew Cawthon as well goes all the way down to that inside wall.
I can tell you one thing. That wasn't America's driver's fault. Albert Anderson was driving that thing clean. He just got taken out.
He run out of racetrack trying to get around it, but what an effort by the 2 to try to avoid that. He just ran out of real estate.
Yeah, unfortunately, he really had no option there. I mean, once when he committed to trying to make that pass going down low, he couldn't snap it back out to the outside because that would just made the car just snap loose, and he would have hit the outside wall probably just as hard as he hit that inside wall.
Like the 221 of David Fight has manually disconnected. He is done for the night.
I had a rough night, apparently, so... Hey, y'all are out there on the YouTube's machine, hit the buttons. It's a thumbs up, I think and there's a bell, and then you hit the dum-dum button and all that. Hit all that, man. Subscribe button, and they're one of those. All that stuff. Come check us out. We love having y'all.
Well, our top 3 right now, Timothy Pope with about 2.5 seconds over Mike Adamson, who's got about a second over Jess Vaught. Jess Vaught, of course, up 21 spots as he was having those connection issues, able to get it back, I would say just in time. Well, it was just in time for that first caution and get back to that lead lap. So he's out there running in 3rd right now. Russ Kilgore trying to chase him down here in 4th. Jason Ayrson as well. He's looking down low on that number 7 right now through turns 3 and 4. He's going to get that pass done before they even get midway through that corner.
Well, the 210 of Andrew Cawthon came over the radio and said, "Hey, I'm real sorry to whoever I gathered up there after I bounced off the wall and Albert Anderson, the driver of the 2, keyed up on the radio and said, "Yeah, no problem. Stuff happens, you know." So no bad blood there.
He never gets mad, oh Albert. I don't know why. He got taken out. If it was me, I'd have been screaming and hollering like I did when my teammate took me out one time. But that's just good sportsmanship on Albert's behalf, I guess.
Yeah, you got that.
Both of them, you know, though the driver did apologize.
Yeah, that's true. I like to, you know, kind of have a little underlying anger sometimes here.
Yeah.
It's a 205 of Jim Ott tries to bait the 753 Jeremiah Burke to go way outside there, and he's going to get that bait maneuver there as, oh, here comes Albert. He's looking like he's trying to run and get his lap back. Oh, no, as someone goes down into the infield behind him.
Anderson's being scored 3 laps down, so even if he gets one back, he's still gonna be a couple more laps down. Who was that went in the grass?
Man, that's who I was trying to figure out.
01?
I think it might have been I think it was the 01 Kelly Keel. He kept it off of everything as there is a little bit of room on that kind of backstretch apron, so he was able to gather it all back up, but yeah, he was definitely feeling something there as that 205 and the 753 continue to have a little battle here. Looks like that 205 getting a pretty good run through turns 3 and 4, so he's going to come across the line here in 6. Jeremiah Burke coming on down into the pit lane saying, man, my tires are toast here on lap number 40.
So how about Jess Vaught had to start in the pits. Got a couple lucky cautions there, and he's now sitting in third, up 21 spots, the 33 machine. What a run.
Yeah, that's not surprising, but I'm pretty sure he's going to need tires here soon. He's slowing down quite a bit. Probably going to want some new tires here fairly soon.
Yeah, same thing goes with Mike Adamson there in that 51 machine. Jess able to start to kind of run him down here a little bit. Jason Ayerson hanging on as well, trying to stick with these guys as Timothy Pope continues to extend the lead out here tonight at Kansas. Looks like
the radio's lighting up with people saying they're going to come down the pit here shortly.
And that they are. Oh, that was close with the lap car there, is making his way on down into the pit lane. So I guess this kind of 40 lap mark, especially with the cautions, is where these drivers expected to pit. And I got a feeling that realistically they're looking at maybe a 30 to 35 lap run under green.
Deion Jones speeding in the pits. He's going to have to come back through and serve that under green there. Or do they add the 40 seconds on? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, they add the 40 seconds on as Timothy Pope is on his way out of pit lane. Jess Vaught and Jason Ayerson, as well as Jim Ott, come on down into the pit lane. So that's going to give Greg Dobson here some bonus points for leading the lap. Good to see one of our friendly Canadians here and leading this race for a couple seconds here before making his pit stop. Of course, he last pitted on lap 12 to top up on fuel, maybe get some extra damage done. So it's really just a matter, I think, for him, just how long are the tires going to last, and it looks like they lasted just long enough as he brings it on down into pit road. Let's see if Kelly Keel follows him down. It doesn't look like it, so Kelly Keel is going to get some bonus points as well.
Yeah, gotta get those bonus points while you can. Every point counts here.
As you can see, drivers that do have those fresh tires just ripping on around him here, and that's that difference of fresh and old stuff as these guys continue to put laps down here from Kansas, approaching that halfway mark pretty quickly. Jeremiah Burke, he's going to come out of that kind of pit cycle here right behind Jess Vaught in that 33 machine. He's going to do his best to try to stay with them here, maybe conserve tires a little bit more than what he had to do to hunt these guys back down after one of those kind of incidents happening earlier.
listen to Just Spot just throttle that thing around 3 and 4. A lot of throttle control there. Make sure that thing doesn't slip out underneath him with brand new tires.
And thanks for the question out there, Carl Anderson. Carl says, is there a max amount of horsepower that these cars can have? These guys run a fixed setup here, meaning that all cars are going to be exactly the same as far as those specs and stuff are concerned. But yeah, Xfinity car they're capable of running about 700 horsepower, and it kind of depends on setup. But all these guys are going to be exactly the same setup. The only thing that can change, I think, is gearbox ratio, or for steering box and brake bias, I think. I think that's the only things that can really change. But everybody else running the same amount of horsepower, which is close to 700.
Nice. Ricky Wittenberg lights up the leaderboard here with the fastest lap of the race here so far. Jeremiah Burke still not done having a battle here. He's got his teammate Mike Adamson, the silent assassin, right there behind him. You got Jim Ott in a battle with Jack the Ripper Dixon coming up on that 72 of Chandler Paul. Looks like they're going to move along the outside here. Both the 48 and the 72 part of that Cult of Chaos team. Both, I'm waiting for one of these Cult of Chaos guys to end up inside this podium, man, because they got some solid drivers who have just had absolutely bad luck.
Yeah, we've been missing Ricky for so long. Did he get new wheels or pedals, or what happened with
Yeah,
him?
he got a new wheel and pedals that took a while to get to him, and that's kind of what happened.
The supply chain got him.
Yeah, it's Jim Ott, man, still battling with that 48. They're side by side heading off down into turns 3 and 4 as looks like Chandler Paul coming on down into the pit lane. Oh, as Jack Dixon goes for a ride along that outside wall, using it to kind of slingshot back around. So thankfully, these turns do allow for that just a little bit, as here comes Russ Kilgore trying to hold off that 728 of Timothy Pope as they continue to put laps down here. Earl Evans still has not come down into the pit lane. He last pitted on lap 10, so he does have that little bit of extra fuel here. So he may be using that to his advantage and might try making this one all the way. I don't know, 50 laps is a long way. So Earl Evans now coming down into the pits just as Timothy Pope makes his way on around that 7 of Kilgore to get back into the lead. But Russ Kilgore looking very fast here at Kansas tonight.
Yeah, talking about the sponsor on the 48, Delaware Speedway. That's not Delaware in the U.S., guys. That's Delaware, Ontario, Canada. They got a little half-mile grassroots type track up there that sees a lot of late model racing and seats about 10,000 people. It's an older track, but definitely one of those cool places, you know, that you go watch some Saturday night racing at.
Yeah, not to mention that it is also live streamed, and you can watch Jack Dixon go race there when his car isn't broken. On what is it? I think it's Saturday nights. It could be Friday nights. I don't exactly
Well, it's
know.
Canada. There's no
Friday,
telling.
yeah.
They're using the metric system. I mean, anytime you say Delaware, I just start getting the shakes. No, sorry, I didn't know we had one in Canada. Thank God for the Canada Delaware. Really appreciate the Delaware of Canada. Thank you.
As you can see, that 48 machine try to make the pass down low on Greg Klein here. Greg Klein still kind of struggling a little bit. He's right now still inside that top 10, but not the typical result we see from Greg here tonight at one of these mile and a halves.
He still has
Fixed
some
that thing?
damage from earlier.
He probably didn't fixed it. He's waiting till the end.
That's the 01 of Kelly Keel. Gets another lap put on him here by that 7 machine. He's now going to come back on that far outside line. Kelly Keel trying to make up for some earlier mistakes here tonight, but doing pretty good job trying to just keep it clean for the most part.
Greg Klein did use fast repair on that Toyota Supra, so
Did he? Wow.
yep, he's back straight again.
Well, as an American patriot, I'd like to apologize to Canada for tarnishing the Delaware name. Godspeed, Canada with Delaware. God save the Queen.
As,
Is that the
They have
same?
a prime minister now.
Oh, okay.
so we do have two battles going on side by side. I wish I could do side by side action cameras here, but just not able to yet. As the 33 of Jess Vaught was able to catch up to that 7 of Russ Kilgore and make the pass here, and he's now got about 2 1/3 seconds to try to catch on up to that 728 of Timothy Pope. But Russ Kilgore still hanging on to a podium spot right now.
Yeah, as long as he's not flying out of the track, that's pretty good. Up 16 spots. Good for him. Jonathan Osborne's having a quiet night, down 9 spots in 11th.
Yeah, right now he's just trying to hold off that 285 machine of Greg Dobson. The 81 starting off strong. He was up at the front earlier on, but he is kind of shuffled on back just a little bit. I think maybe just using up those tires a little too early in that first run. So now he's maybe learned from that here in this second run. Is going to take his time just a little bit. As Jeremiah Burke, he's still trying to hold off that 55 of Ricky Wittenberg. Ricky, he's been doing a very good job here, just kind of keeping a steady pace as he almost gets a run here. Looks like he's going to look down low and try to make the pass here as they head off down side by side across the line and send it on down into turns 1 and 2.
Ashley Osborne finally joining us over there on YouTube, saying let's go number 81. Pulling for her brother Jonathan Osborne out there.
Well, good. She's here. We did have some confusion with the fans of the race that was English's fault, by the way. So you are in the drawing to win something. So there's just confusion sometimes. Things happen. English ends up at the AT&T store for 5 hours. He can't remember what his name is. Things happen out here. So we got it all squared away. So keep plugging away there. We still have a fan of the race, but you'll be put in for a drawing at the end of the year.
As we got that 285 of Greg Dobson looking down low on that 81, trying to get that pass done. It looks like he will. Man, Greg Dobson, talk about a season of improvement for him. You know, all of these guys are skilled in their own right. I mean, anybody racing here at the Vigilante Racing League, man, they're all talented. But just seeing that kind of a driver progression from that 285, man, I got a feeling he's got some great teammates over there at Limitless helping him out each and every week to really make up some of the ground. So he's now just outside of that top 10. He's got to try to hunt down that 292 of Greg Klein as Mike Adamson makes his way around that 7 of Russ Kilgore to end up inside this podium.
Well, those guys have talked about that before, how they encourage each other, and if one guy gets frustrated, the other ones are there for him, you know, and yeah, Team Limitless, they really got great chemistry over there for that team.
I thought you were supposed to yell at your teammates and tell them how terrible they were. That's what we
I'm
used
sure
to do.
that there might be some of that going on as well.
Oh, okay, good. I thought it might have been abnormal.
Just might be, but man, just talk about how great of a track Kansas is here. You can kind of see it. It's fairly smooth. I don't think it's a repave, but it's definitely been recently paved here, as these guys aren't bouncing around like we would see at some of these other tracks, which allows these guys to have some great racing. Of course, in real life, if you want to end up going to watch one of these races, you can go on ahead and look up Keller Williams in Johnson City, Tennessee, and call Ricky Wittenberg there at 423-444-0454. Whether you're in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country like here in Kansas, be sure to give Ricky a call and go and try to get a good realtor to help you buy some property. As, man, those property stuff, man, it's absolutely insane. Don't do it alone. Get yourself a good quality realtor today. Of course, we were just in time to air that as 244 made a move on that 7. So Jason Ayerson moving on up into a 4th place spot here, looking very strong once again.
That Kathy Anderson over there saying, "Did the drivers get a chance to practice and sharpen their skills at any time?" Yes, they have organized practices within the league, so guys can run some laps with some other cars on the track. But as long as you're a subscriber to the iRacing service, you can get online anytime you want and get behind the wheel and do some practicing, check your fuel mileage, that kind of thing. You can even add AI cars to the track to practice in heavy traffic. So yeah, these guys can practice. A lot of them get loads of practice in because they publish the season schedule, so these guys know ahead of time where they're going to be going.
What's an AI? What are you talking about?
Artificial intelligence. It's like a computer.
Oh, okay. Like a iRobot when it comes out and kills everything.
Well, sure, yeah.
You don't even know how to do it. Deal with me tonight. I'm sorry.
I'm at a loss.
That's a 285 Greg Dobson looking like a steady Eddie out here, trying to still catch up to that 292 of Greg Klein, who's now going to be in a battle here in just a second with Jack the Ripper Dixon. Oh man, that battle is heating on up here as they go side by side through turns 3 and 4. Looks like Klein just able to get that run here on that 48 machine and get that spot away before they come across the line.
Connie Goodman joining us on YouTube as well, saying what a great league. And go number 81. So Osborne Nation and Anderson Nation out in full force tonight. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Oh yeah, that's why we're here, man. We're either that or it'd be just three idiots talking to themselves. So I'm glad to have everybody commenting and watching and seeing their favorite driver out here. Kansas is awesome.
So it looks like our next round of pit stops is starting to happen as that 205 Jim Ott coming on down for his probable final stop here, approaching that 30 laps to go mark. So we're already about 2/3 through this race. Actually, exactly about 2/3 through this race as the 51 Mike Adamson dealing with some lap traffic here. He's got the 2 of Albert Anderson in a very damaged race car there, trying to get around him. I think that's the 57 of Russ Endicott still running around, just trying to finish this one out. Of course, these guys knowing that, as long as they finish out the race, man, they're still entered in for that random draw driver, and you can still get a little bit of extra something.
Yeah, these guys are out here for cash. I mean, you can't get in the top 3, you might as well get the random draw. So,
oh man, as you look at the mess that's happening right in front of the leader, Timothy Pope, you got Kelly Keel and Dave Hot Rod Mayberry having a little battle here for 12th and 13th, and they also got Poke Salatoni in that mix as well. Of course, this is what Jess Vaught wants to see to try to close up that gap just a little bit, and unfortunately for Pope, he just has nowhere to go. He's just kind of stuck in this traffic as he tries to fight his way around the outside here.
Well, keep in mind, that's one of Jess's teammates right there at the 29, so...
Oh, Hot Rod.
Might as well hold him up for your teammate.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
No.
He, as the number 1 driver, he has to figure out his own way around. You don't have to work for him. He's got to do his own thing.
Looks like things are starting to space out just a little bit, so he's able to get that run. But here comes Jason Ayerson looking down low on that 51 machine as it looks like Adamson maybe trying to diamond the corner a little bit, heading through turns 3 and 4. He's going to make use of all of that apron as he comes down and across the line to try to hold off that 244.
Well, Pope nicked the wall in 1. He's got a little slippery in 2. I don't know if he's needing tires or whatnot, but he's struggling a little bit for Pope.
Yeah, you got, looks like Russ Kilgore coming on down for his final pit stop here of this race as this battle between the 51 and that 244 still rages on. The 29 Hot Rod Mayberry comes on down into pit road for his final pit stop as well.
Yeah, once these guys got good and spread out and weren't restarting all on top of one another, the race got a lot cleaner, a lot quieter out here.
And that doesn't mean that there's no racing going on as Jeremiah Burke, Greg Klein, Jack Dixon, and Greg Dobson all come on down into pit lane as the 244 is all over that rear bumper of the 51. The problem is I think he got some dirty air and that pushed that car to that outside line. He's going to lose a little bit of speed.
Kelly Kill rode the wall for about half a lap there. He's having a lot of problems running that outside line in 01.
This is kind of... Oh, as he does it again, coming out of turns 1 and 2. Man, he is really struggling with that corner exit. And he's maybe just trying to make it to that final round of pit stops here. But it kind of reminds me of like a Homestead or a Darlington, man, where that wall is right where you want to be.
Yeah, Albert Anderson's pop trying to cheer his son up over there on YouTube saying, terrible luck with those wrecks, son. Not your fault, but you handle it like a pro. Real proud of you. Yeah, he handled it with a lot of class, and that's something we know about a few of these guys. Anderson's one of them. Alan Kewen's also joining us over there on YouTube saying, what's up, guys? Let's go, Greg Klein.
We do mention that, too, of Albert Anderson. He's finishing up his pit stop here. He's trying to fight some traffic as he makes his way out of those pits. But, he's done a pretty good job. He had pretty hard impact with the wall there, and he was still only basically like a lap down. So he's been doing a very good job trying to minimize the kind of the damage here as Mike Adamson comes on down into the pits. Looks like Ricky Wittenberg just coming out of the pit lane himself for that final round of pit stops. So that just leaves a few more drivers, and then we'll just have to wait to see how things cycle on out here for the remainder of this race.
Yahtzee.
Well, there's a few drivers that are still running around out there. A lot of laps down. Russ Endicott, one of them. We mentioned the 57, how much damage he had. We actually saw him flip upside down, land on his roof there earlier, and the 57 run around out there without a hood. But he's still going to be eligible for that random draw driver of the week. So he's out there sticking it out. Just in case somebody else does have an issue, he could potentially gain a position if one of these guys has a DNF. It's going to be difficult. It's almost out of reach, but it could happen.
As Jonathan Osborne comes on down into pit lane, it was the same thing with Jason Ayerson, who just did his final pit stop here. As Jim Ott is catching on up to that back bumper of the 51 machine of Mike Adamson as Timothy Pope and Jess Fott make their way down into pit road. Both drivers doing a good job getting that thing woed up and all that. But out of all the pit lanes, out here on the circuit, man, I think this is probably one of the easier ones. The entry into it isn't too hard. I think the hardest part is just making sure you get that thing woed up in time. As Ricky Wittenberg setting the fastest lap of the race here again, a 31:26.
Yeah, he's been on fire tonight. He's been really, really quick in that 55. About the pit road, I mean, it's very, very well marked. There's a long run before you actually come to the cone. It's not like some of these tracks where you're basically making a really, really hard left turn coming out of 4 and a big transition and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to deal with that here.
As you can see here, that gap between Pope and Vaught as they come out of the pits, man, it is neck and neck. Jess Vaught having almost a second quicker pit time here than Pope as they rejoin into some traffic here, and this is all battling for position. You got Timothy Pope, Mike Adamson, Jess Vaught, Jason Ayerson, and Jim Ott all up in here in this big ball of action as all of these guys trying to run down that 7 of Russ Kilgore, who's going to lead some more laps here. We're going to be 3 wide with some lap traffic as well. I believe that's the 210 of Andrew Cawthon. He's able to just try to stay out of the way of these guys as they battle it out. Timothy Pope probably in contact here because he's now right behind his teammate, the 51 of Mike Adamson, and saying come on, Mike, just help me out here. Don't let Jess Vaught get too far in front of me now. As Jess looking on down low and trying to make that pass, but they're going to be 2 by 2 heading down this back straightaway, beating and banging, trading some paint, and having a little right side romance. Jess Vaught in that 728.
Ooh. I like that. That is a cool term.
I heard it at some dirt race thing.
Yeah, we did hear that, and it sounds awesome.
Here he comes.
Man, he's
728 side by side with his teammate. His teammate's not just giving right in, though.
no, not
He's
at
fighting for
all.
position 2.
As they come out of turns 1 and 2, Vaught leading this kind of little backpack with Pope, Adamson, and Ayrson in tow. Russ Kilgore's just trying to hang on, praying that this race is going to end here sometime soon, as he's got a lead about a second and a half, but that is dwindling away here with 19 laps left to go.
Yeah, it's going to start counting down on him a little quicker.
What's the chances we have one more incident? I mean, what do y'all think?
Hell, it is definitely 100% possible, as these guys are now kind of dealing with some lap traffic as well. You can see the kind of lineup here right in front of Tim Pope and Jess Vaught and crew, as we ride around here with Jason Ayrson. Oh, man!
Open the wall. He bounced off the outside wall all the way back down to the apron, but he stayed.
Yeah, he was getting real aggressive on Jess Vaught. I'm sure you were watching that. Guess he probably lost a little bit of where he was and hit that wall.
And of course,
He was awfully close to Vault 2. He probably got some air pulled off his nose as well.
I wouldn't doubt that, as Russ Kilgore, man, just saw that lead just chipped away, and now he sees that 33 right outside that rear view mirror as they come on down through turns 1 and 2. We got a big battle of cars.
Yep, this is what you want to see right here at the end of the thing. They're pretty close to each other. We're not too spread out. Look at Pope get sideways.
Pope really pushing here. Oh, Nas, the 57 was just trying to stay out of the way. The 29 of Hot Rod Mayberry as well. Just trying to get out of the way here as these guys are coming through with a full head of steam. You also got Jason Ayrson, man. I think Jason Ayrson is in a pretty good spot. He's going to watch these guys battle it out, battle hard, waste all their tires, and he's going to be able to maybe save a little bit of extra here as the man Chandler Paul comes on down for another pit stop here. And who knows? I think Jason Ayrson might have something to say at the end of this thing.
Well, Russ Kilgore, that number 7 Rod Baker Ford Mustang, he put on a heck of a show out there in front, but just don't look like it's in the cards for him as he goes down another position for Mike Adamson. Well, and another one from Jason Ayrson. 7 might still be able to hold on and get the top 10 here.
Well, the top 10 here, you're in the points. It still means you had a heck of a race.
And with 14 laps now remaining, Jess Vaught and Tim Pope all nose to tail, and right behind them you got Mike Adamson and Jason Ayrson nose to tail. Russ Kilgore just trying to hang on to as many spots as he can. He's got about a 5.5 second lead over the 55 Ricky Wittenberg here to try to stay up inside this top 5.
Carl Anderson saying these races are outstanding. It really has been a great season. They're a lot of fun to watch, and the more we get to know the drivers and everything, the more fun it is. As Tim Pope gets right on the 33's back bumper after dodging the 76 there. 76 had a little run-in with the wall.
Yeah,
A lot of black tire marks on that outside wall in certain spots.
Yeah, Tim Pope is going to make his move here shortly. Just watch it.
And we haven't
Forced the 33 to make a mistake. Go ahead, Al.
Oh, as he is right there on that rear end. I was going to say, we haven't really mentioned Jeff Ottinger here tonight, and that's kind of a good thing, but also kind of a bad thing. He hasn't been involved in really any of the incidents. He's just kind of plugged away at this race and kind of kept quiet here, sitting back there in 14th. As you can see, that 728 of Timothy Pope, man, he is all over that back bumper of the 33. Now the question here is, if you're Pope, do you maybe back up just a little bit, try to not get as much of an arrow push coming out of some of these corners?
No way. I'm going to apply as much pressure as I can in the parts of the track that I'm comfortable doing it, and try to force the 33 into make a mistake. 33's got to deal with the 81 right here in front of him, and the 728 behind him, and he's racing the racetrack too. You know, he's not just looking in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on for Bob right now. And he's looking out front, looking in the rear view. There's a lot happening right now for him.
Man, that 728, you can't put a piece of paper between him and that 33 as they come down and across the line with 10 laps to go now remaining in this race.
Be an honorary Southerner, you gotta say something like, you couldn't fit a frog's hair in between there. You can have that one. Use it whenever you like.
Rally train.
Man, talk about a rally train here for that 33 at Jess Vaught, who started this thing kind of behind the 8-ball, having to deal with some technical issues about getting logged in and ready to race. But, man, here he is now up on the lead lap, fighting for the lead. Oh, it's Timothy Pope having to do some evasive maneuvers there, trying to avoid a lap traffic car.
Yeah, I like all those descriptions you have in English. We'll teach him some phrases so he can be an honorary member. But man, that rally train's really got me hyped up. I hadn't heard that in real life during a race. It sounded awesome.
Well, I hate that doggone train.
While that race rages on up ahead, you got Mike Adamson and Jason Ayerson here, 4th and 3rd, having still a battle. Looks like Ayerson was able to get around that 51 machine kind of at the last second, so I got a feeling, though, this one is not over yet for any of these podium finishers, as we got 8 laps now remaining. Russ Kilgore still about 5 seconds up on Ricky Wittenberg, so looks like he might be able to just hang on to one of those top 5 spots. Jonathan Osborne trying to hunt down Greg Dobson here, as he's got some leaders having a battle here as well.
The track temp, I think, has a lot to do with the quality of racing today. It's only 87 degrees on the track surface out there, whereas a lot of the times when we come to these tracks, you know, it'll be 110 degrees out there on the track, if not hotter. And the hotter temps, you know, it makes the track slick. I'm talking deer guts on a doorknob slick.
Well, and that might have been part of the problem early when we had those cautions. It was hotter. We started this thing at 101 out on the track. That's super hot. We cooled down quite a bit, a little more grip.
Carl Anderson saying the 728 out there drafting like a good cold beer.
That's actually true.
I'm having a draft one myself, right?
I'm gonna have to.
Oh, Dobson in the wall.
Now, as Adamson and Ayerson go side by side through turns 3 and 4, it looks like Ayerson's just going to be able to get the drive off here and hang on to that spot, as we now got 5 laps left remaining. And man, these leaders are still nose to tail up at front, still dealing with some of that lap traffic. You can see there the 57 getting the fast repair done and able to get back up to speed, and was able to drive around these leaders just a little bit here. And but man, this one's been a really good one to watch. We saw Timothy Pope run away with it early, but just that really good pit stop, the money stop there for Jess Vaught, was able to make up that difference.
Yeah, talking about Pope, he's tailgating that thing like he's in Austin with one hand on his cell phone, one hand on his pistol, and a knee on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Heck of a drafting on Pope's behalf here, as he's trying to figure out where he's going to make that move.
He's going to have to start thinking about it, doing it here soon, as when they come across the line, it's going to be 3 laps left to go, and you can just see how close he and the 33 are getting up to that outside wall as they're making a pass around that 48, putting Jack Dixon another lap down here. And man, he is just trying to get a run here coming out of turns 1 and 2, getting a little bit of draft help as well. He's going to try to make this run stick maybe just a little bit more, heading down through turns 3 and 4.
Somebody's shooting dice in Waco tonight. Who's going to roll snake eyes? Who's going to get the 22 Derringer out of the boot? That's what I'm talking about. Good racing up front.
That indeed, nose to tail here for the lead with 2 laps remaining. Just fought Timothy Pope. Man, excuse me, this is the battle to watch. This is the battle of the night. This is the battle of the week as we head on down through turns 3 and 4 on this penultimate lap, coming on over to take this white flag.
How aggressive do you be here if you're Pope? We know that he's a clean driver. He's not going to do something to somebody that he wouldn't want done to him. But, hey, man, it's been a while since he's been up and got a win.
Bump and run? That's what you're saying?
As Ayerson was trying to throw his name into the mix, he snags the outside wall through turns 1 and 2, as it looks like there's a car, purple car down there on the apron. As here comes Pope dive bombing down through turns 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to make it stick? He's going to be side by side with Just Fought here as they exit turn number 4. Drag racing to the line. The 33 getting a great run out of the corner, driving down to the apron and picking up the win as he crosses the line with Timothy Pope there in second and Ayerson in third.
Well, that's the only clean way he could have done it. He just, the good slingshot move, it just didn't take. So, what a fun ending to that thing, though.
Oh man, as Mike Adamson finishes here in 4th, Russ Kilgore in 5th, Ricky Wittenberg just outside 6th. Greg Klein was just able to hang on, or almost was able to get back around that 205 at Jim Ott for 7th, but he hangs on for an 8th. But great driving here for these drivers. Looks like Chandler Paul just finishes a smidge behind Jeremiah Burke as well. But winner of the night goes to that 33 at Just Fought.
Yeah, up 23 spots. He overcame some kind of adversity. I'm sure we'll get to talk to him about that. Awesome, man. And watching through that rear view for the last 20 laps, that had to have been tough. He probably needs a break after that.
And you ain't kidding us. We still have some winners to announce, like the random draw winner here. So let's see who's going to get that one. As I did click that 3 times, and it's going to be the 20th place finisher, Earl Evans, hanging on out there to come home in 20th and wins the lucky driver of the day.
Nice. Hey, he's one of our sponsors, unofficial sponsors. So, good to see him out there winning a little bit.
That indeed. So, that's good on him for getting on that. And so we just let these drivers have a great celebration, man, because this race got off to kind of a dicey start, but, man, it finished off strong.
In addition to the random draw winner, entered in that drawing at the end of the season here. Comments tonight. Thanks to all the fans for all the comments tonight on YouTube. You guys are the reason why we're here. So thank y'all so much. And joining us late, Jake Bunjo and Chad McCabe. Awesome. Thank y'all so much for coming.
So who won it?
Did you hear me?
I'm getting
Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson.
Okay, Carl Anderson. Good deal. I was getting a little confusion in my headset. I don't know if it's on my end or your end or.
I heard some robotic sounds earlier.
Yeah,
that's why I restarted Discord, but it's still happening.
I've been hearing that all night. I think it's
same.
something to do with the actual computer system tonight. So sorry about that.
Well, either way, we get to start to talk to our drivers here tonight. So let's get things started off here with tonight's second place finisher, and that's going to be the 728 of Timothy Pope. And man, Tim, you threw everything and the kitchen sink at Just Fought here to try to win this race, but just coming up short, man. Talk about especially this kind of last pit stop run that you guys had and how tough of a battle you had.
Yeah, we had a good battle. I tore the wall down about 10, 12 ago, and it killed my car.
Yeah, we saw you scraping on it a few times, and I made one heck of an effort out there today, and we enjoyed watching you. Your team is doing great. I mean, you guys pretty much run away to win the team championship out there. Talk a little bit about y'all's teamwork and how you guys motivate each other and stuff. Y'all seem like y'all got some pretty good team chemistry over there.
Yeah, I think we got the dream team here. Yeah, we just, talk to each other in Discord, pumping each other up all the time.
Well, that was a heck of an ending there. I thought you might have squeezed it out when you kind of slingshot around him there in 3. But nonetheless, great race. Do you have any thoughts about next week? Looks like we're going to Bristol.
Look, maybe I'll win that one.
There you go.
Last couple times there.
Well, we look forward to that one there, Tim. And as always, again, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, you got any final shout outs or anything like that?
Vigilante Racing, you guys, and Lehman Motorsports.
Awesome. Well, man, again, congrats on the podium second place finish here tonight. And we look forward to seeing what you can do here next week.
Thank you.
All right. Before we talk to tonight's race winner, we'll talk to good friend here, the 13, Earl Evans, the random draw driver of the day. And man, Earl, you had a heck of a run here tonight, just trying to keep that car clean. I know you had some issues there early on in the race, missing your hood for a couple laps there, but able to get that car fixed back on up, and there you are, finishing in 20th. Not necessarily where you wanted to finish, but that bad luck machine, it's been costing you some bad luck.
Yeah. I don't know. I still had fun, regardless. Yeah, I got caught in both the yellow flags there right off the bat, and when I went in the first time, I forgot to check the fast repair, so had to go back in and actually get it fixed again. But I mean, got out there, and because of the pit strategy that I ended up going on, I ended up doing 50 laps on really, really, really old tires.
Well, that's never fun, especially at a track where you need that grip, and next week, a little bit different deal coming up. It's going to be night racing at Bristol. How do you feel about the big high bank short track?
So it's been a constant thing that me and my teammates have been talking about Bristol. I know it's one of my teammates' favorite spot. I actually do not like short tracks, but apparently I do really well on them. So we've been testing out. We're probably going to do that here in just a short minute to get some more practice on Bristol before we go out there.
Man, that's pretty awesome. So y'all do a little bit of practice in a little ahead of time. So
Yeah,
you're
White
looking
Knuckle
out.
actually gets a taste of it all.
Oh, well, love the paint scheme, bad luck machine, and your sponsors are proud of you. Good job getting this random draw tonight.
Oh, thanks guys. Thanks for supporting us, and thanks for keeping us with content. You guys are awesome.
Awesome. Well, at least you get to get a congratulations here, being the random draw driver of the day, Earl, and we look forward to seeing what you can pull out of the hat next week.
Yep, I'll see you guys there.
All right, and so with that, we can now talk to tonight's race winner. It's the man who's got ice in his veins and blood in his eyes. It's the 33 of Jess Vaught. Jess, man, talk us through that last run and how you're able to keep cool under that pressure of a Pope just all over that back bumper of yours to pick up the win here tonight.
So I don't even know how I did it. I thought he was going to get me in that last run. Just the way this whole race started out, I don't know if you guys noticed, I had packet loss and ended up starting from the pits. Got a little fortunate. It was a quick caution there, and then went from there. Just went about my business and getting the work done. I like this track. It races well for me. I was kind of lucky in that second to last stint there because Tim scraped the wall a few times, which allowed me to close down the gap before we hit the pits for the final cycle. And I think that made the difference. That's not something he usually does. I got a little bit fortunate in that regard, but yeah, good, clean, hard racing, and Tim as always, and what a class act.
Yeah, you know, Tim, he's a man of few words when you get him on the radio, but he did mention that to us. He said, well, I kind of run up, tried to tear the wall down with my car, and, you know, it did slow him up quite a bit and took some aero advantage away from him. But, man, way to stick with it out there and hold him off. That was those last, 2-3 laps were some of the most fun racing we've watched in a good while. So, great job there, buddy. And talk us through Bristol next week. Is that going to be fun or what?
Oh man, that's a huge wild card like Super Speedway is, and I think it's going to be fun. I just hope it's not a wreck fest. I hope we're able to get some great racing in there like we did tonight. There was racing all over this track tonight. I hope it looked that way in the broadcast, because it certainly looked that way
Absolutely.
to me.
Oh, it did, and there was races within the race all over the place, and I think Bristol's going to be the same way. There may be a few early jitters, but I think we're going to have a heck of a race. But talk about, because it seemed to me like the last 20 laps, he was on you like white on rice, man, and I don't know how you managed to watch in front of you and watch behind you. How stressful was that white knuckle driving?
It was. I mean, the thing with Tim is you cannot make a mistake. I actually made a small mistake. I touched the wall slightly at one point, and I thought, okay, well, that arrow is going to drag me a little too much, and he's going to be right on me. But I'm not sure if he had just already wore his tires out or what. You know, I was watching him. Great thing about Tim is he's not really worried about him hitting you from behind, so I wasn't sweating that any. The lap traffic, yeah, but nothing that they did. It's just, you know, do you catch it in a bad spot? And a few times there I did, and Tim's right up on the back bumper, you know, and I'm able to gap him a little bit a couple times, but then he's right back again. So I just had to be consistent, had to keep that car clean, and I had to maintain that primary line.
And not to mention, but this win was actually very big for you, as Jim Ott starting to close that gap a little bit inside this kind of final few races here for that team champion, or the driver championship. Unfortunately, I think Limitless is really driving away with that team championship here, but about 20 or so points away. And you know, what is it with these new guys coming in, and man, they're really showing up with some talent, Jess.
We're just we're too good at picking them, man. We're going out there, we're finding the good guys who are racing clean in these recruiting races, and usually, you know, a clean driver's a fast driver, in my opinion, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing guys coming here with talent, and they're showing it. They're fitting right in.
Well, either way, you are the one with some of the most talent here tonight. Rally driver of the day, coming all the way up through this field with those technical issues and whatnot, but still picking up that win. Jess, before we let you go, you got any final shout-outs?
Yeah, man, as always, my wife Lori, man, what a supporter, and everything I do. But this is a hobby, but I mean, beyond that, and our 30-plus years of marriage, so she's awesome. And then, you know, my team, all those guys over there, very supportive, great at bouncing ideas off of each other and everything. So, and then AAA broadcasting, we couldn't ask for better. A group of guys helping us highlight this league, highlight what the talent is like in this league. And yeah, we really enjoy watching those back the day after, the night of. How I'll watch it tonight for this one. But thank you very much, and yeah, thanks to the people who are watching and coming and supporting their drivers. It's awesome to see that every week.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the time here, Jess, and go celebrate this win, and we look forward to seeing what you can pull out of the hat here for Bristol.
Hey, man, here's hoping. Thank you.
All right, and so with that brings tonight's race in action to a close, and man, it was a good one. It was a very good one here at Kansas, and we kind of knew it was gonna be pretty good. And oh, I think I had the music playing all race long. Darn it! But hopefully it was quiet enough, and y'all didn't get too distracted by it. But man, it's a great mile-and-a-half racing that I've missed.
Well, yeah, no, I like music too, Brad. It wouldn't bother me. Let's jam. That's kind of what was happening here tonight. Awesome, and I really don't know how Jess pulled that off. I would have freaked out with that number 728 behind me like that. I'd have put that thing in the wall.
Yeah, well, as we wind things down here from Kansas, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver finished here for this race, and that's with that 33. Jeff Spot up 23 spots with technical issues, getting that early caution and everything, making it all work to his advantage to pick up the win here tonight. The 728 of Timothy Pope just coming up short here to pick up that win, but still a solid second place finish. Another great run from that 244 Jason Arison. He's been showing some speed here the last few races to finish up there on that podium. He had to take off early to head to work, but great run there for Jason. Mike Adamson as well, the silent assassin in that 51 machine, having a solid run here in fourth. Russ Kilgore in that 7 machine. He's been really good, lighting it up this season. He's able to make up 14 spots to finish in a top 5 position. The 55 of Ricky Wittenberg able to pull on out a 6th place finish there for him. So good job there, Ricky. He also had a bunch of fastest laps of the race. I think he might have actually walked away with that one. So great run there from Ricky. You had the 205 of Jim Ott. Maybe struggling a little bit on this setup and these tires, but still able to come home with a 7th place finish. With the 292, Greg Klein able to walk away with an 8th. The 48 of Jack the Ripper Dixon up 12 spots on the day to finish inside the top 10 in 9th. With May, talk about someone, and we talked about it earlier, the world of improvement there for that 285 Greg Dobson to end up here in this top 10.
The 81 of John Osborne finishes also 1 lap down back there in 11th place. 12th will be Dave the Mouth Mayberry in the 29 machine. 753 Jeremiah Burke had some problems early, so he dropped down the leaderboard a little bit, finishing in 13th place. 14th, Chandler Paul in that throwback number 72. The 2 of Albert Anderson involved in a couple accidents, finished right where he started, right there in 15th place, 2 laps down. 76 of Jeff Ottinger. Starting in 10th, fell back a little bit, finishing in 16th place, still a top 20, not bad. 17th place is the 4 of Dion Jones. The 222 of Tony Pope finishing in 18th place. 19th is Andrew Cawthon in the 210. We saw him come off the wall, and that was one of the accidents that him and Anderson were in together there. He'll finish in 19th place. 20th will go to the 13 of Earl Evans. The 01 of Kelly Keel finishes in 21st, had to disconnect early. 57 of Russ Endicott went for a wild ride out there, but hung around and still finished the race there in that beat-up number 57 car. And David Fight, almost a start park. He ran a few laps, and then he had to go. So 221 will round out your field.
All right, and there you go. That completes tonight's action from Kansas. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching. Y'all are the reason why we do this, and we have such a great time doing it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Be sure to hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and if you like the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. As it really doesn't matter about our analytics, but what matters is you guys get notified every time that we go live. So that way we can have you out here each and every night. So we thank you for that. We also got to thank the great sponsors of D&D Race Grafix. That's Grafix spelled Grafix. Go ahead and reach out to Ricky Wittenberg there on Facebook and Trading Paints if you want to get yourself an eye-popping paint job done by him. He does these NASCARs. He's done some of the dirt cars. He's done some of the GT3 cars. He's done just about every car on the service, and man, you can pick his cars out in a crowd, and that's what you always want when you're racing, is have people be like, man, that car looks good, and everyone's eyes will be on you. So be sure to reach on out to him for that, as well as his real life business of Keller Williams of Johnson City, Tennessee. Reach on out to Ricky there at 423-444-0454. If you're looking to buy or sell a house or some property in that Johnson City, Tennessee area or across the country, he's got a Rolodex filled with contacts here all over the place, where if you're not in that Johnson City, Tennessee area where Ricky is, he can at least get you in contact with a realtor you know you'll get along with and you can trust here. And that's what's important, because this housing market, man, it is absolutely insane. Do yourself a favor and get yourself a good quality realtor today. That concludes our racing action for this week. We look forward to seeing you all out here again on Monday with some Numb Thumbs Racing League Next Gen Cup Series action. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.